All right. So, hi, everyone. This is Tom from Hidden Beats. And today we have Charissa with us. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's actually Carissa.
Carissa? Okay. I have a writer that does notes for me, and she wrote some things. And sometimes I don't always get them because she's not here with me. But there's an H in there somewhere. She put an extra one, I think. But yeah. So, how's your day going?
It's going great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. We definitely love getting to talk to people and hear more stories. So, first thing that I have for you is you're a self-proclaimed storyteller. What does that mean to you?
Well, I write all my own songs from my own experiences.
Hmm.
And I think as songwriters, we're all storytellers, just sharing our truths.
Like, actually, that's one of the kind of edicts that we have here at Hidden Beats is we tell stories of other people. So that's why it kind of struck home a little bit more.
Yeah.
So you grew up being a professionally trained with different lessons. How did that lead to a more successful career for you?
Not a whole lot of lessons. I started singing around 8 years old, and my parents heard me singing in the house, and they had asked me if I wanted to take some vocal lessons. So I ended up taking some for a couple years, actually, with an opera coach, and she taught me the basics of projecting my voice. And I was a really shy person growing up. So she actually helped me get my voice out. Um, and then I ended up finding an acoustic guitar in my grandpa's basement. And I taught myself with all his old guitar books. And then my parents realized like this is something I wanted to do. And then they signed me up for some guitar lessons as well.
Okay. And when you were growing up with music, what were your influences?
I had a lot of like timeless music just because my mom she listens to a lot of great classic music. So I was listening to Blue Rodeo, Queen, Alison Krauss, just really great singers.
Hmm. Yeah, those are some of my faves too. Actually, we've actually got to interview some of the guys from Blue Rodeo before.
Oh, that's awesome. Have you interviewed like Colin at all? Colin Krebs,
No, that
guitar player.
one of the ones I haven't got to touch base with yet.
Yeah, Colin actually produced my EP that's coming out.
Okay. So early influences for them, how does that compare to now, and how have you grown from some of these early ones?
I I still listen to them to this day, actually.
Okay.
And if anything, I mean, I started listening to more like Amy Winehouse stuff and some R&B kind of music as well too. And I really like right now I've been listening to the Lumineers. That's one of my favorite bands.
Okay.
So more like I guess I reached out to more like Americana music.
Yes. Okay. So you have your EP that's being released. I think it's the 25th of this month, if my notes are right.
Yeah, yeah, and this is my debut EP, so I'm really excited.
How was the process working on that?
It was so we actually recorded the EP last year in 2021, and it was kind of a weird time with COVID and everything, and we weren't sure if we were even going to be able to go into the studio sometimes. And we ended up we were going into the studio, we're wearing masks at certain times, and it was really weird, but also just exciting to get to go and do it finally.
Hmm.
But it was a really great process with Colin because it was very live off the floor, doing full takes, and that's one of my favorite things because I love performing live, and I actually played guitar on some of these songs too.
Okay. Nice. So how did, like, as a smaller musician and stuff like that, how did COVID affect you?
Oh well, it's crazy because I actually signed my first record deal with Coalition Music in late 2019. And I was so excited going into 2020, like this is going to be the year I record more music, all that. And everything just stopped in March. I had my last showcase, and it was just, I had like a roller coaster of emotions in 2020 and 2021, because like this was my full-time gig. I
Hmm.
wasn't working anywhere else. So it really affected me just in all aspects, actually. And it was really hard to get through. And then once 2021 hit, like I just started to feel a lot more hopeful and actually more inspired once we were able to go into the studio.
Yeah, I think we were actually slated to talk to you back in 2021 originally, I think with a single
Really?
release,
Oh
but
yeah.
then the EP was coming up and it felt like a bigger thing for that. So,
Yeah, yeah, this is something I've been working towards for a really long time. I mean, I've been playing locally since I was 12 years old, so I'm really excited to have some music out there and just like an introduction.
hmm. Now, were you able to kind of get on social media, do live streams, things like that for fans?
You know, I didn't really do the live streams. Doing them kind of freaks me out, the whole live world.
Hmm.
It's you don't know who's watching, like what's going on, and I didn't really dive into that. I actually, during 2020, it took a really long time for me to get back into it. At first I wasn't even playing my guitar really. I didn't have a lot of melodies going through my mind. And once I started to feel a little more hopeful, that's actually when I started to dive into the songwriting more.
Okay.
And like that was basically my main focus of 2020 was just recording and writing more during that really weird time.
Do you find that writing around then was different from previous writing, or like how did that affect you?
Yeah, because I mean, it was just a roller coaster of emotions. So I never knew what was going to come out that day, especially because we were doing a lot of Zoom writes too, and I had never done those.
Hmm.
So it was just a lot of new emotions for me. And I think, if anything, like I was just writing, for me, it just felt very real, authentic. There was no, like, I was just going to lay it all on the table and say how it is, how I'm feeling. And I don't know. I think it was almost like, I don't want to say like a blessing, but like it actually helped me write like maybe what I'm afraid to say out loud, and just go for it.
Hmm. Well, and one of the things, I mean, I noticed and my team noticed is that you keep you're professional on social media where you kind of keep some things back. So I guess having more of your emotions in these songs is probably a different thing.
Yeah. It's funny with me because I like to keep some mystery of my life, like my personal life. I don't share everything.
Hmm.
And I think I'm getting a little better with that though, with my posts. But yeah, like I do like to keep that mystery a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, everyone nowadays shares, everything. So sometimes it's
Everything.
nice.
Yeah.
And how are you maintaining with your socials? Like, are you running them all yourself, I'm guessing?
Well, yeah, and I have my team that helps me out as well too,
Okay.
because it's been like a big change for me, just because I was an independent artist since I was 12 years old, and I basically did it all on my own. And it was a big change for me to now have a team that helps me and guides me.
Hmm. And I think a lot of people had that you had to learn to adapt for COVID. And I've actually heard a lot of people developing their teams a lot more during these last couple of years. It kind of there's not much else to do, so why not hone everything a little bit?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like if you're not in the studio, it's kind of like, okay, well, what are we doing today? And
Hmm. So getting back to the EP a little bit, is there like a song on there that really hits home for you, like one that you're super excited about?
Love and Be Loved, for sure, the title track.
Okay.
That song for me is just I remember the day I wrote it too, and it's just so vivid in my mind. And I was actually in my bedroom at the time, and my boyfriend had gifted me a keyboard, and I was teaching myself some piano chords because I play just acoustic guitar. That's my main instrument. So I was kind of branching off, wanting to learn some things because I had all the time in the world to do that. But it was such a beautiful summer day, just like this blue sky. And I was just sitting there, and because COVID brought on so many different emotions, I was just thinking to myself, because I just play like some chords, and I was just thinking like how great it is to love someone and feel that in return. And like I feel like in my life I had never felt that before, like really feel that.
Mhm.
So in that moment I was just humming like to love and be loved, just back and forth. And when I got to actually write this song with Tom Wilson, Jesse O'Brien, and Colin Cripps also put some of his magic on it too. But it's just one of my favorite collaborations on the whole EP.
Mhm. And this EP has a lot of emotion in it. You can feel that in the songs.
Well, I mean, I was all over the place during that time.
Mhm.
So I think it definitely comes out in the music.
Mhm, for sure. I mean, I got a chance to listen to it, and I definitely you can feel all kinds of emotions in there.
Yeah. And I think because it's a lot of like live off the
Your
floor,
mic
like
just cut
full.
out.
Oh no, did it? Am I back? I don't know why I didn't do anything. Are we back?
Oh, I think you're back.
Am I back now?
No,
Okay.
maybe not.
No, it says it's
The funny
blinking.
thing
It's
is, Zoom
on.
probably records all the audio anyways, and I just can't hear it. So you're talking away, and it's probably recording. But
Oh no. Anything? It's
I'm just
blink.
trying to
It's
change my audio settings here, and maybe I have
yeah.
settings differently.
It's blinking. So that it's weird. It says
Nothing on
it's
my side.
on. Anything?
That's weird.
What the heck? It because it's on. I don't
No,
know.
got nothing.
Nothing?
No.
That's so weird. Okay. Let's try. Okay, how about now?
Nope.
Hello?
There we go.
Okay, I didn't do anything. Like I just went back to what it was, but
Zoom tends to be picky that way. Like this is similar to an issue I was having the other day. So
really.
mhm.
Okay, well, we're back.
Yeah. I can edit this out too, the little center part that we have
Okay.
here. So that's okay. Alrighty.
I don't even remember where were we?
Well, we were talking about the emotions and everything that you had in this new EP. So one of the notes I had down here too is you have a song written about a friend who passed away.
Yeah, I do.
Is that something we can talk about, or?
Oh, for sure. We can talk about that. It took a while for me to be able to talk about it, just because this song, it didn't come from a very happy place for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's tough, but I think just because the message is so important, that's kind of what gives me the strength to talk about it.
Okay. Yeah, and that's important that you can express yourself in different ways too. So
yeah. But people like you, I wrote that song with Crystal Lee and Emily. And this song actually goes back a few years because I was in Nashville on my first real writing trip. And I had a session with Crystal and Jimmy at the time. And Crystal came into the session that day and she goes, I have this idea. And the line was, the world could use more people like you.
Okay.
Really loved it. Like, I thought it was great. And then for some reason that day, we just went on a different path. We didn't write it. It just kind of lingered there. So it lingered in the back of my mind for a few years. And then when I found out my friend had suddenly passed, I was just really, really upset. And it was just a really sad time because it was during COVID. You couldn't see people. It was just not good. And this was a time too where like I wasn't writing at all. There was nothing melody wise coming to me. And then all of a sudden I was thinking of him one day, and that line came back to me, and I was like, I want to write this song for him. This is going to be this, like, I need to reach out to Crystal. So I did. And then we ended up writing it over Zoom, actually.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. Zoom was a big connection for a lot of people, it seems like.
Yeah. Especially because we were in different parts of the world. Like, I know Crystal was I think she might've been in BC at the time. Emily was in Nashville, and then I was in Burlington. So it worked out.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned a writing session in Nashville. Now I'm not a musician by any stance. What really is the writing sessions in that? Because I get a lot of people that actually go to Nashville for writing sessions. What is that really?
Well, so that was actually my first writing trip, but basically you go to other songwriters, either like their house or their studio, and you kind of figure out like who we're writing the song for. So like as an artist, I'll walk in and like, I have a project I'm working on, let's write a song. So you get together and you just put a bunch of like your ideas on the table, you talk about them, and then whatever fits the vibe that day, you kind of just follow that. And hopefully you write a song. Sometimes you don't, but
so like a big brainstorming session almost.
Pretty much. And it's also weird too. Like if you're not a musician, you basically walk in and you're sharing your life story with sometimes a stranger, and like you're sharing like certain secrets and things you're going through. And it's weird when you think about it. But I mean, as a songwriter and a musician, like I do love it. It's just, it can be a lot sometimes.
Well, yeah, because like I hear that all the time, and I can only imagine what it really is like. So if you got a whole week trip or whatever planned out, it could be interesting, I suppose.
It is. Yeah, I think the first time I went, I stayed for a week and just had a bunch of sessions. And it was really cool because we would record. So if we finished a song, we would record a demo right after. And it was really great to just have those and listen back. And yeah.
That's interesting, actually. I like that. Now, one of the fun questions I like to ask people is, who would you love to dream collab with?
Do a collaboration with?
Yeah, like your dream that you could do.
Mine would be Stevie Nicks.
Yeah.
I'm a dreamer, so I mean Stevie Nicks for sure. She's someone I've looked up to since I've started playing music. I just think she's the coolest person ever.
Yeah, she's just an icon, really. So
yeah,
everyone should love Stevie.
Every way, yeah.
I'm definitely a fan. So that would sound pretty cool, I would think.
I think it would. So maybe one day.
Hey, you never know. Dreams can come true. And the way social medias and like things like TikTok and stuff are now, more people hear your stuff quicker. So you never know. Stevie could get a hold of something and say, hey.
It's so true. I'm going to be posting some TikToks soon. I'm going to join TikTok land. I think it's great just to get music out there, and also just for like new fans to find you.
I still like musicians I think have a bit of an easier time on there because you can just post the song, but someone like me, I can post maybe a clip of this interview and get some view and stuff, but it's not really, I haven't absorbed the knowledge on how to use TikTok to my advantage yet. That's for sure.
I haven't really either. So
hey, all you have, if you can My understanding that if you can get someone to do like some of those TikTok dances with your song behind it, you're golden right there.
Oh my God. I don't even know if there's a song on there that they could do a dance to. Maybe The Last Time might be a good one, actually.
Yeah, just find a
We'll
couple people
see.
locally and see if you can get them to, or a couple of influencers there, or get whatever you want to
Yeah.
call them.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife looks at TikTok and goofy videos and stuff all the time, and she's like, "You should do this." And I said, "Tell me how, and I would be more than happy to."
Yeah, it's like, well, what am I gonna do on TikTok?
Mm-hmm. And one of my photographers, he's a bit young. Like, I'm 37, so I'm at a point where I'm good with technology, but I'm like a grumpy old man, and I can't stand new stuff coming out. So he keeps
It's like,
on
now
trying
I
to
have
tell
to
me to
learn
do
this.
TikTok. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks. How, with that being said, actually, how do you see the music, uh, scene right now with everything going on? Like, so stuff starting to open up and TikTok's blowing up and all this other stuff. What's your impression on things?
Well, in Ontario right now, like, I feel like next week things are for sure opening up. It's been really strange the last
Hmm.
2 years. Not a whole lot of opportunities. So I think by the end of the month, it'll be great again. And I think there's going to be more show opportunities. I've gotten to play live in Oakville actually the last couple weeks. I played at the Moonshine Cafe, and that's like a local cafe where like songwriters can play their new songs, like basically play anything. And
Hmm.
it's just a really great vibe there. And I have another one coming up in April too. So it looks hopeful. I'm really hoping that there's going to be a lot more opportunities this year.
I would think so. Like, I'm actually based out of Ottawa, so I'm kind of right
Oh,
in the
nice.
in the same boat as you with all the extra stuff there. And we
Yeah,
have,
yeah.
I think I've got 3 or 4 shows booked coming up. Like, I work with a promotion company, so I do photography stuff with like that
Oh,
for them.
very
So
cool.
it's nice to see things popping back up finally.
I know. Yeah, we need it. It's been too long.
Yeah, I mean, myself, I didn't really mind COVID as much. I work from home anyways, and I'm just still doing the same thing I did before, so it didn't affect me as much. But I could definitely use getting outside a little bit now. So
Yeah, it's just for me, it's the human connection, and it was just the strangest time with people being scared of other people, and it's like no hugging, nothing like that, and but it was really nice to play live again.
mhm. I mean, hopefully, I'll get the either one of me or one of my team will get the chance to see you live. We can snap some pics for you. And
Yeah, that would be
I,
awesome. I'll have to come to Ottawa.
well, I've got a photographer in Toronto, and I've got a couple across the country too. So we cover a large portion. But for sure, if you come to Ottawa, I'll be here to snap some shots for you.
Oh, it's great.
So I do have, I almost call them like my final 3 questions because they're the most. I will say these ones tend to elicit the most interesting responses from people. So and they will probably stump you a little bit. The
Okay.
first one that I have is, what is some advice that you were given when you were coming up that you kind of held tight to?
Hmm. It's that is tough for me just because no one in my family is really a musician. So I
Hmm.
was kind of the first to go on this adventure and this journey. But I think my grandpa really from the beginning was just practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice. And that's stayed with me to this day. Like I can hear his voice being like, "Are you practicing today?" and
Yeah.
all that. But it really is, it's true, just to keep at it and work at it every day because there's always something new to learn.
Hmm. Now, kind of a part two to that one. Is there some
Okay.
other advice that you would give someone at this point?
um
Kind of with based off of what you've experienced and everything?
yeah, because I started so young, like I was performing at 12 years old. I think the advice would be just to be fearless and go do what you love, and don't let anyone tell you that you can't. Because I never had that. I'm grateful in my life that I never had anyone say you can't do that. You're not good enough, or it's not going to work out. I never had that. So I'm really grateful for that. But definitely just to be fearless and be you.
Okay. No, I think that that's definitely something a lot of people need these days, just to almost be unapologetically you in a sense.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
So my second question is more of a fun one. Oh, I think my camera just cut out there like usual. All right. So second question is, what is
There
something
you are.
what is something on your playlist that you're listening to right now that people wouldn't expect you to be listening to?
Hmm.
Everyone has those guilty pleasure songs or artists that you wouldn't think about for sure.
Hmm. It's funny because I listen to a lot of laid back music, very like acoustic, Patty Griffin stuff. But then there's times when I'm driving and I'll listen to, you might be familiar with them, the Glorious Sons.
Yeah.
So I love them.
Mhm.
And there's just times where like I want to rock out too. And I really love listening to just like the electric guitars and just that rock vibe.
Yeah, a little bit more energy as you're kind of.
Like, yeah, energy and just like edgy too.
I have a couple playlists that I have for different things, and one of them I got just some good rock and roll music that you can kind of just move to and have fun with for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know my wife hates some of the stuff that I list. Like, I'm a fan of a good song. If it's done well, I don't care of a genre. I don't care anything. If it's done nice and there's something to it, I'll listen to it. So I have things that she has no idea why I listen to, but she gets confused for sure about it.
Exactly. That's the thing. Because I listen to all genres. It's like if it's a good song, has a great melody, you're singing to it. Like who cares what genre it is?
Hmm. I think music should touch you and move you in a way, so it doesn't matter what kind of music. What some of my favorite stuff is just listening to classical stuff like John Williams composing movie scores, things like that is fun.
Really?
Hmm. And I
Wow.
look at me, I wouldn't look like I listen to that type of stuff whatsoever. So
Yeah,
there's always some fun stuff you can hear out there.
that's so true.
Hmm. My final question is probably the most interesting one. What is something that you wish more people knew about you that isn't asked enough?
I
This one
don't
stumps
know.
everybody.
I know. I don't know that I want them to know
It
more
could be,
about.
hobbies that you like, you guilty pleasures, you like to go have certain type of ice cream or whatever. I don't know. I hear all kinds of different things.
I mean, I don't know if they care to know this, but I really love gardening. That's
Okay.
actually something I love to do. I think it's really cool to just, bring life and watch it grow and like nurture it and just see your plant like months later and it's like, wow, like I did this.
Are you someone like flowers, or like do you do vegetables, mix
Everything.
things?
Yeah, like I really like to plant flowers. My favorite one is this hydrangea bush I actually planted. And it's really nice to see that one grow. And it just grows really big. And also like tomatoes, cucumber. It's nice just to see that. And like you have your own garden there in your backyard.
My wife likes to. Well, we live in an apartment right now, but she has little plants everywhere that she'd love to have many more if she could, but I keep on telling her no because we don't have space for it.
It's gonna be a plant room.
She's actually sent me pictures of a plant room that says when we buy a house, like I'm to expect there's going to be a plant room.
That's great. No, I think that's a great room. And even like little basils too, just to have those fresh things around. And parsley, it makes all the difference when you're cooking too.
Yeah, I actually do a lot of the cooking, and she has a little herb garden, so it's nice to pick and choose some things from that for sure.
Yeah, so I don't know, like I don't know if that was really like a secret, but if anyone cares to know, that's something that I really enjoy.
it's not necessarily meant to be a secret. It's something that, you know, it gets to know a little bit more of who you are, and kind of, instead of just a picture and a song, you know, you have a little bit
Right.
more who you are as a person.
Yeah.
That pretty much ends what I have written down here for you. Any final thoughts you want to give to fans that are listening / watching this?
Um, I hope you enjoy my new music that's going to be out. And like, this is my first album. So I really hope everyone can connect with it, and just a big introduction to me.
Is this an album that you would say people should listen to front to back, or can you just pick and choose songs throughout? I know people tend to do things differently that way.
I actually chose the order,
Okay.
and because it was my first one, I think there's a journey there, and I think listeners will hear that. I don't know
Okay.
if you did, but
I mean,
yeah.
I listen to it from front to back. I tend to always do that when I get them. So I personally felt, you know, steps going through it. So I can see that.
Yeah, yeah, because I was at a time in my life where I had just met my boyfriend, and we were maybe like a month or two in, and then the world shut down.
Mm,
So we're just getting to know each other. There's so much like emotion there. And I think the best line is like, we can't always be together, but when we are, everything is better.
okay. Yeah.
So a line from the last time.
Hmm. No, that's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Do you have any upcoming shows and things that we can give a little shout out here? Maybe 'Cause this is going to be released on 25th, I think, with your EP. So anything
Oh,
from that
awesome.
point on?
I have a show April 9th in Hamilton,
Okay.
and it's at Stone Roads. I've never played there before, but I'm looking forward to it. And that's from 4 to 7. It's like um a songwriters round.
Okay.
And if
I'll
people aren't
definitely, I'll see
familiar
if I
with
can,
that,
I'll link whatever I can, so people can get a little bit extra in the description of this too.
oh, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, it's more like when songwriters, it's kind of like a Nashville style songwriters round where you play your song and you just talk about what inspired it, if there's a
Okay.
story. So those are my favorite type of shows. So I'm really excited for that one.
No, I'd like, those are fun too. I've been to a few just to listen, and those are nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's it for me.
Okay.
I'm glad we got a chance to talk, and I'm
It was really
definitely
nice to meet
excited
you.
to see more from you. And this EP dropping should be insane, I hope. And
I hope so too.
we'll make
Yeah.
sure we're going to share it we're going to have the links and stuff attached, so everyone that sees this should get a chance to listen to it for sure.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me today. And it was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I guess it's the weekend, like very shortly now.
It is. It's actually
Wow.
snowing here. So hopefully we can go out and do something tonight. Hopefully it's not too bad.
It's actually not bad. It's kind of melty here right now, which is great,
Yeah.
except for my dogs are a little bit older, and the wet and the salt and stuff kind of messes with their feet. So almost you
Yeah.
can't do as much with that.
Aw, like
Yeah,
a little short walk.
my one guy's just laying here beside me. He's passed out snoring. So,
Aw.
mhm. But yeah, I mean, it should be a nice weekend, hopefully.
I think it will be.
All right. Well, we'll
Yeah.
sign off now. And like I said, I
Okay.
hope you enjoy everything. And hopefully we'll get to talk to you again with some more music that
Yes.
comes out. I'd love to have a
Yeah.
second round with you.
It'd be awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem. You have a good one.
Okay, you too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.